You're recording?
Yeah,
oh, there we go.
Thumbs up.
All right, you guys.
Hey.
I'm excited. Hey,
This
is my husband. He's coach and training.
Wow.
Just joking. Okay, I'm just joking, but seriously, you guys, we just want to thank you guys for even coming. And I know it's always a little outside people's comfort zone to come and they're like, someone's gonna sell me something. Honestly, no, it's a compliment to be invited because our team is so close knit. It's like a family. And that's something you'll see if you decide that it's a good fit for you. But it's a family of people that really take care of and support each other way beyond the business. And so they saw something in you. We always tell people if you got to build your team around people you want to work with, and the people that breathe life in you and that lift you up. And those are the type of people that we look for on our team. So it's a compliment. And thank you guys for coming and spending your night with us and dealing with this
awesomeness.
this guy. But and so he's going to share some of his story from his perspective, and you can ask us questions along the way. But really, all we wanted to do tonight is to share with you guys our journey. Not to trick you or convince you. That's the last thing we want to do. If you should decide it's a good fit for you, honestly, we want you to be excited. You're going to be nervous because it's outside your comfort zone. It's outside what society says we should do. I get that. But we want you to be excited, and we want you to feel inspired when you show up and just excited to learn how to grow your vision. So for those of you guys that don't know us, we are the Tuckers. I'm Summer.
I'm Chad.
This is Chad.
Chad.
And we are just a normal couple that we've had our ups and downs. We've struggled. We spent the last 10 years as a military family. We have moved we're about to make our 10th move in 10 years. Just a lot of stress, a lot of different challenges that our family has faced. And through that, this business has given us the opportunity to do something different. When we realized that the military wasn't the right fit for us, it allowed us to start to write our story rather than just reading our story. Does that make sense? It allowed us to be in control and to create a vision. What do we want for our family? Which, through the many struggles we've had and all the deployments, a lot of times it just felt like we were passengers and stuck. And that's where the whole thing kind of starts, honestly, is that, and I don't know if anybody is feeling that right now, but 5 years ago when Chad deployed for the very first time, that was the lowest of low in my life. And I'm generally a happy person, but
we're very happy.
Yeah, standing in that hangar before he deployed for the first time, we had a 10-month-old at home, and we had our 4-year-old in the hangar with us. And there, I don't even know if I can really explain it without getting choked up, and so I'm going to try not to go there. But hugging Chad for the last time and being scared I would forget what he felt like, what he smelled like, wondering if he would come home, and watching my 4-year-old all dressed up in his own little flight suit, he salute his dad when his dad was taxiing away. There was just this amount of emotion that just made me feel heavy, like hopeless. What is this really what my life is going to be like for the next 20 years? We were $100,000 in debt. We were living on one income. We had multiple credit cards, cars that we shouldn't have, and a fixer-upper. I mean,
yeah, we moved across the country and buy a fixer-upper.
And he deployed. We're just not the smartest people. You should be thinking right now, wow, if those Genius. Two can do this, I can do this. But I struggled to get out of bed on some days. The only thing that got me out of bed was I didn't have a choice. I had a 10-month-old that didn't sleep very well. I couldn't just let her cry all the time. I had a 4-year-old that was depending on me to put a smile on my face, but it was a total front. It was a fake. And I remember walking downstairs one day to do what I did every morning, to start a pot of coffee, because I felt like me and Riley never slept. It was just one of those things that Chad can shake his head like he knows what. Yeah, no, he has no idea what I'm talking about.
I got the phone calls. I got those.
Yeah, he was sleeping 12 hours or whatever.
I get the crew rest.
But I remember walking down those stairs and walking past a sign a quote that I walked past a million times, but for some reason in that instant, it stopped me in my tracks. And it said, if you want something different, you have to do something different. And it like stopped me, and I got like sick to my stomach because I wanted something different. I was crazy thinking that if I didn't do something, something was going to change. You know what I mean? And so it was like this, I had already signed up as a coach. I was doing nothing with it. I was closed-minded about it. I was scared to talk to my friends about it. I kept calling it a pyramid scheme. I was claiming I didn't have time when I was at night crying in bed. Like there was plenty of time watching Bachelor and Grey's Anatomy and drinking wine to try to make myself feel better. I had plenty of time, but I had all these excuses, and it was like right there in that second, it was like my something different is right at my fingertips, and I was failing to see that. And it was at that second that I decided, I remember making that decision to change, that we as a family deserved something different. And building that's what's kept me going over the last 5 years, both of us, is talking about what do we want our life to look like, to stop settling for it is what it is. I don't know if any of you guys say that, but if you decide to join our team, don't ever say that to me. Just an FYI, it's one of those, or it could be worse, that like gives me a tick. You know what I mean? Because it is not what it is, you guys. That's a victim mentality, and I played that mentality for far too long, and it didn't get me anywhere but sad, depressed, crying, isolated, a lot of stuck, a lot broke, because retail therapy, right? Already $100,000 in debt. What's another $50 out shopping? Poor child. Lots of stress on our family. But it was at that second, it was that moment, I'll never forget it, that I decided to start building this business in the mom cracks, to find the time to do the things, to start failing forward, because I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never built a business. I was a criminology major. I was going to fight the bad guys, yo. You know what I don't know. I just thought it looked fun. Actually, I wanted to be a bicycle cop because I wanted to get paid to ride my bicycle. Yeah, that's as much as I thought into that one. So anyway, that is that moment 5 years ago where I started to do little things. And over the last 5 years, we have definitely failed our way forward to develop a system for our team that really helps us all to have the freedom to create what we want our life to be, to start dreaming again, to stop taking our dreams and shrinking them down to our income, but to really start dreaming again and saying, and not what if it doesn't work, but what if it does work, and flipping that mindset from I wish I would have to I am going to.
Making your income fit your dreams.
Yep, making your income fit your dreams. While, you guys, wait a second, there's another piece to this puzzle. Remember I told you I wanted to be a bicycle cop. I wanted to have purpose. I had worked hard in college. You know, I had graduated top of my class. I wanted to do something with my life, and not that being a mom wasn't, but there was something missing. I wasn't excited anymore when I woke up in the morning, you know. And I don't get me wrong, I love to change a diaper just like the best of them, and pretty good at it. 3 kids in, but I wanted to leave my imprint on this world. You know, I wanted something to work towards. I wanted something to call my own again. I wanted something to build. And as soon as I made that commitment, it's like I got my pep and my step back. And I don't know if anybody can relate, but that benefited everybody in our family. So instead of getting on Skype with this amazing man and making him feel bad for being 7,000 miles away, I had something exciting to talk about, something positive to share with him. And I was no longer putting this guilt on top of this American. So it changed us there, and it changed the way, it changed me as a mom. It changed me as a mom. I don't have any other.
Yeah, I saw the change from across the world, just on Skype. You can just see it. You see the difference, and as the business grew, and as she grew in faith, and she grew in the business, I mean, everything changed. Yeah. It really did.
Not to say there aren't struggles, because there always is going to be a struggle. You know, it's not, don't ask for it to be easy. Ask for it to be worth it, right? And it is. It's worth it. It's worth getting those texts from the challengers that have changed their life that are down 30 pounds and smiling on date night again and going to the pool with their kids when the year before they wouldn't even put on a bathing suit. It's worth it getting texts from coaches saying they're completely debt free, or they've paid off their last credit card, or they just bought their husband his dream truck. You know what I mean? All of that is wrapped up in this, this sense of purpose, this sense of excitement, something to call my own again. Making a difference and leaving an imprint, adding value to people. There's nothing more life-changing than knowing you're adding value to those people around you. And so, that's kind of our story. I mean, Chad will share a little bit of his story in a little bit, but that's really how this whole team got started. And the cool thing, you guys, about it is you get to define your vision. It's not our job to put a vision on top of you. It's not your PS coach's job to give you goals. It's our job to get you dreaming again. What excites you? Start living. Stop existing. Some people have just come to accept their life, and we want you to live and lead your life. And so as we do that as a team, you start dreaming, and our job is to help you build that within, the life that you want to design. Okay? So that's our job. There are no expectations. That's a big fear I hear from people. Well, what are your expectations? I don't have any. That's not fair to you guys. That's for your cubicle job to have expectations. This one, you get to become your boss, which is good. It's positive, and there's negatives because now you're your own boss. But the great thing is if you develop your vision in a way that excites you, it'll be easy to be your boss, and it'll be exciting. We're not racing to a life that has no meaning to the point where we can be like, I don't have anything to do. We're racing to a life of purpose and excitement. Okay. And so, and that's really what we're all about. Our team's desire is to help you develop your vision. So no expectations. So you might come in and be like, you know what? I love the energy behind this team. I love the idea of this team. I love that there's moms kissing their son before they go to bed. I love the flexibility of that. You know what I mean? I love that some people are bouncing their babies on their laps and that we can do that together as a team. But I'm not ready yet. I want to focus on myself for a little bit. Fine. That's what we're going to do. We're going to teach you how to focus on you and how to share your story to inspire people and slowly start to help you build a business at your pace. And
then you never have to say, or one of our goals is for us, as a family, and then as our friends and everybody who's joining this, is never say, oh, thank God it's Friday. Because every day is Friday. It can be. And I'm there. And
that's the, awesome. He really knows what he's talking about on this one, because he is just a few weeks away from walking away from the military, which thank goodness, you guys, that we have families that are willing to sacrifice this, have and continue to sacrifice this for our amazing country. If you know anybody that is serving, please thank them. But there are some that just know it's not the right. They know in their heart that it's not it's not their purpose. It served their purpose, and they're ready to move on. And that's where Chad kind of was. And I'm telling you what, if we didn't have this business, that wouldn't be an option. I don't even know what we would be doing. He has, he has a broken tailbone. He has hip issues. He has bone spurs on his back, all from flying, all from his 10 years in the Marine Corps. We would literally be saying to each other, crap. And Chad would be like, you better go get a job. You know what I mean? That's where we would be, because he can't fly. And we didn't have
sell a kid. Can we do that?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, do you guys see what I'm saying? So he really does know that, he has for a while now, with all his pain and missing the birth of our third child and missing so many events through the deployments and the TDYs and stuff like that. He knows what it's like to say, thank goodness it's Friday. And he knows what it feels like to really get in a crabby mood on Sunday. Can anybody relate to that? to be crabby. I can. This is Mr. Crapster himself. Sunday, all of a sudden.
It's about noon.
Yeah, and then and that's no way to live, you guys. That is accepting your life. And I grew up in a house like that, and bless my parents that were so hardworking. But on Sunday, my dad was an entrepreneur. My mom had a boss, and every Sunday she was upset, and we'd stay away from mom on Sunday, and then probably on Wednesday she was pulling one of these like, doot, doot, doot. Hey Tom, I'm sick. Yeah. And then I would hear that getting ready for school. She wasn't sick. She was like walking downstairs like, I don't have to go to work. You guys, that's accepting life. You know what I mean? And we want you guys to lead your life and design your life, and it can be anything you want it to be. So let's talk about some of the big fears. And as you think of them, do not be afraid to ask a question. This is the safe zone. No one's going to laugh at you. There's no stupid question. Chances are I struggled with that question for that whole year that I drug my feet in coaching until I'm pretty sure that God slapped me in the head. So, okay. So if you have questions, ask them. And then I'm going to talk about some of my fears that held me back in the business. And held me back from even signing up for like a good 4 months. And that was my fear of sales.
Didn't want to be that icky person.
Yeah. There was a girl in Washington that was in was in multi-level marketing, direct marketing, relationship marketing, whatever you want to, what are you laughing at?
Oh, I just remember.
You remember?
Diving in.
I know. Yeah. So when we'd go, I never failed. I'd see her at the commissary, which is grocery store in the military. And I would see her and I put one of these, like, right? Like, you know, like I was getting out of the way because she was going to try to sell me something. There was nothing genuine about it. There was nothing. She probably didn't even know my name, but she was going to sell me on a makeover.
I still remember her name, though.
I do too.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I got into that was what I pictured what this type of business looked like. That icky, just, you know, nailing people over and over and over again. And I didn't want to be that mom that everybody ran from when I went to like the playground. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to run a business like that. And I remember when I went to an event and heard my one of my mentors, Tracy Morrow, who is a mom of 6 and a former youth pastor. So I just really connected with her. She said, if you share your heart, if you're real, if you're genuine, if you focus on their needs first, if you don't go in with an agenda, then no one can receive you negatively. And it was like, whoop, a light bulb. I remember telling Chad, like a light bulb went off. I can help people with a pure heart if I focus on them, because I know I was one of those people that cried when I got dressed, for a date, that tried on 10 outfits because I felt fat, that because I wouldn't let Chad touch my size because he might feel my muffin top. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff, all this stress, all this yo-yo dieting I went through that was so painful. I knew there were women out there that needed someone that would really genuinely care about them. And help them and hold their hand. And they needed something that wasn't a quick fix, that didn't revolve around instant gratification, a shot, a magic pill, 2 shakes a day. I mean, that's a liquid diet. You know what I mean? I tried all that. You know, I wanted to hold their hand through real changes, a lifestyle change, a mindset change. And so if I did that with a genuine heart, I knew I could build a business that I was proud of and that changed our life in the same way. And that is the philosophy of this team, that if you help enough people reach their goals, you will naturally reach yours. And at the same event, Tommy Migrant, another mentor of mine, said something that I'll never forget. He said, don't you dare hold someone else's future captive in your mouth because of your fear of rejection. I was like, ugh, like, ouch, like you're right. Like
we got a call on that.
Yeah, he did. My fear of being rejected was holding other people back from being free. I was free in my skin at that point. I had reached freedom. And my fear was keeping other people from experiencing that. How selfish of me.
Hey, think about the people's lives that we've affected. I mean, thousands, tens of thousands. You can't even the ripple effect of the people that you will touch from this, you will never know.
It's a legacy that you'll leave behind. A legacy that you'll leave behind that, people will be talking about you, for years. and it'll be grandkids coming up to you, believe me, thanking you. It'll happen. So I kind of got off on a tangent, didn't I?
Good tangent.
Okay, so that's kind of like, that was my fear of sales. And so I don't know if anybody else struggles with that, but that's our team's philosophy. And we work very hard to build a very real, passionate, heart-filled business that helps people, that is mutually beneficial. Mutually, we're not running a charity. I mean, if you want to run a charity, I can help you build a charity. That's fine if that's where your heart is. But mutually beneficial is good business, right? Good business. So you're giving them what they need to succeed and to really change their life, and you're holding their hand, and you're making an income off of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Look into my eyes.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. And if you think there is, look over at your husband and ask him to work free for a week and see if he agrees to that. Ask him to just go to work for a week or even a month and not get paid. Just do it out of the goodness of his heart. See if he.
What happened?
I don't know. I just turned into like a Texas accent. Okay. Anyway, Crystal Schaefer, if she's on here, she's like, that is not how we talk. Anyway, so it's mutually beneficial. It's a really, really cool thing for both parties to feel the joy in that. So that was my fear. And we have training. You're probably thinking, but I don't know how to do this. I thought the same thing, and I really didn't know how to do it. But luckily, Chad and I have fell flat on our face enough times to where you don't have to. We can kind of like, you know what I mean? We have training to help you with that we didn't have at the beginning. You know, because Beachbody really is a very young company, very young. We're in a very good spot right now. It's not saturated, as some people would say. It's a very young company. It's a good place to be right now, and it's only in Canada and the U.S. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. Okay, so anyway, we didn't have anything to guide us, so we fell flat on our face over and over again, and we have put it into training meant to fit in the mom and dad cracks of life, so that you can build this business without working 4, 5, 6 hours a day. I've never done it until I started to make, like a 6-figure income. Then, I mean, yeah, you might have to work. You might have to work.
You've already quit your job by then. So
yeah.
Whatever.
So it's okay. But do you guys see what I'm saying? It's not meant to take over your life. It's meant to become a part of your life. And we have all the tools to help you do that. So you're not on your own. You have a team of coaches supporting you, encouraging you, that are thinking the same way you do. Right? Because out there in the real world, so to speak, people poke us, right? It's outside the norm. It's outside the comfort zone. It's like, I remember when Chad and I were gonna leave the military, and everybody was asking us, what are you gonna do for healthcare? I guess we're gonna buy it. Do you know what I mean? It's just outside the norm, right? So you got this amazing team that also has that mindset that's starting to shift, and that positive support for you to build whatever you want to build. And that's all right there for you. Did you want to add something?
Well, we weren't meant to be here to work until we were 72 or 65 and then just
exist.
Okay, we were meant to do more than that. And that's this. It can do this. It can do that. It's done it for hundreds of people on our team.
Oh, yeah, hundreds. So those were honestly my biggest hangups. Do I have any questions so far of people that have anything that kind of like keeping them from taking, or that they're curious about, or like that popped in their head right away that made them fearful of something, like a commitment like this? If so, please post at the bottom, or even if there's any coaches that are on there like, well, this was something I struggled with initially. Don't be afraid to go ahead and include that. Another thing that I struggled with initially was I didn't have a six-pack. And I still don't have a six-pack. Sorry, babe. I don't think that's going to happen. Neither does he.
Boom!
Boom. Just kidding. Okay, so, but that is, that is one thing that really drew me to this, is that when with Beachbody, you don't have to have a perfect handle on this, which sometimes I wish they would have named it something other than Beachbody. You know what I mean?
As do they, though.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't have to have a Beachbody to be an effective coach. Honestly, the majority of successful coaches are still working through their journey. And that is the magic of all this, is that people want someone that is relatable. People want someone that is sitting next to them saying like, I get it. I get it. Let's do this together. I know what that feels like. It's not someone that's up here on a pedestal talking down to them. It's someone that's willing to walk through the trenches with them and is walking through these obstacles of life, these very real obstacles that we have, and that we will continue to have. So you are, as a coach, you're not the brains of this. You know what I mean? You're not the one that has to design the workouts or the meal plans. That's the beauty of it.
You don't have to stock toilet paper.
Oh, that either. We don't stock anything. You know what I mean? You're not the expert. Leave that to Tony and Shalene and Shanti and Sagi. I'm sorry, I would have totally forgot him. And Autumn. Do you know what I mean? Like all these people, it's put together in a way that there is science behind it. If they push play, it will work. If they follow the meal plan, it will work. They need, you guys, if the problem in society was information, everybody would be wealthy, everybody would have a six-pack, and everybody would be happy. Because think of Google. This is the information age. That's not the problem. It's not information. It's support. It's having people. Life is so busy. Have you ever walked by someone and they're like, how are you? And they don't really care. They keep going. They don't even know if you answered them, right? Nope. You know what I mean? It's like no one's really paying attention. We are the people that actually slow down and pay attention to people. We ask questions because we care. We share their life. We are the support piece, you guys. We are the encouragers. We pick them up when they're down. And guess what? This magical thing happens with coaching. They pick us up. I do not know where I would be in my journey if it wasn't for coaching. Sometimes I push play for my challengers. That's it. Seriously, it's like I don't want to do this, but I have these challengers that are expecting me to do it, and they need to see my sweaty picture. Their life depends on it. So I go work out. And so, that has been huge for me. I think I saw a question come in down here maybe. No, I guess not.
Crystal's just talking.
How do I inspire people when I'm not where I should be? Oh, I just got that question. How do you inspire people? That is what is inspiring, in my opinion. The inspiring part, in my opinion, is the fact that we're human. We have 3 kids. We know what it's like to have 2 kids waking up having nightmares. We know what it's like on some level. No, I've never had 100 pounds to lose, but I do know what it feels like to mentally struggle right here with feeling comfortable in my skin and therefore naked in front of my husband. I just went there. I've never gone there with you sitting here.
No.
Anyway,
I just shut it off.
I know, he doesn't even listen to me.
And I can, and guys can relate too to that. I mean, I graduated high school 135 pounds, and I was just a little skinny guy, 140 pounds maybe.
No, it's 135. Don't add 5 pounds on. You were little.
I was like 190.
I didn't even want to stand next to him. Because I weighed more in high school. I weighed about 20 pounds more than I do now.
At any rate, guys can relate too. People can relate. If you're not comfortable in your skin like summer puts, then we have ways of doing that. Have ways of walking along with you. And guys are the same. We just finished one of our first all male 30-day challenges, and they're dudes are the same. We just don't like to say that in front of women. So you get them to the guys group, and everybody's screwed up, and everybody needs a friend. Essentially, what it is. Everybody needs somebody to say, "Hey, man, I feel you. Let's try this. Let's do this." And that's what it is. And that's what it is. That's as simple as that. You just do that for your friends, and as soon as you look back one day and they're kind of trailing in behind you like ducks flying across the sky, a big V shape. It's planes.
Oh, really? I wasn't following that. I don't. Okay. Oh, so anyway, okay.
The guys got it.
The guys got it. Okay, so there also was a question like, how does this fit in? I'm already so busy. And, like I said, that's where we all can relate. Like Chad and I definitely didn't trick the system to where we have found 25 hours in a day. And that's what
We've tried.
Yeah, we have tried. And we're not going to ask you to only get 4 hours of sleep or something like that. But there is definitely something about on our team that we talk about a lot, and something to living your life intentionally. Figuring out by design who gets your time, what gets your time, what things are on your calendar that don't line up with the life you're trying to create. And then we support each other in making decisions and finding that time by removing some things that maybe weren't serving our big picture goal. And believe me, you guys, we have time. There's all kinds of distractions, that I'm still working on now. There's like 7 distractions or 7 enemies of living an intentional life. An intentional life is actually what leads us to real joy and real success, whatever your definition is. And one of those is procrastination, but a big one is distraction. And we have a lot of that in our life, a lot of Facebook, a lot of social media, a lot of TV, a lot of The Bachelor, a lot of multitasking that really isn't saving us time. So we talk about that.
Socializing at work. I mean, one of the things Summer and I work through, because I can relate to a lot of us here that I've just recently started building my own side of the business, and I've struggled with time. So I want to be home, but I also want to do the business. And I also have a full-time job right now. So
over an hour drive each way.
Yeah. So I've had to figure it out. So at lunch, instead of just, hanging out and eating with everybody else, I'll go to the truck and I'll eat my food and I'll just, plug into some groups real quick. Or, right before I come inside, I'll take 5 minutes and plug into some groups or send out an invite or say hi.
He'll work through the checklist at our team.
The dad cracks. Boom. Took the mom cracks, changed it to the dad cracks.
Ruby, see, the dad cracks apparently are better than the mom cracks.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
bad.
Yeah, it does sound bad. Let's stop talking about cracks.
Right.
Anyway, so and that's the key, you guys, is we give you a checklist, like the things that have the most impact on this business that if you do over time will build a business. Not instant gratification, you guys. That's another enemy. That is another enemy of living an intentional life, right? We have to sidestep that desire for instant gratification, but we also have to do the little things. It's called the compound effect that over time build the life that we want. And that's what we work. I just had a webinar on this, that we're helping each other to find those cracks. And we don't sacrifice our why for our why. So our family for our why. You don't want to sacrifice that. This isn't at the expense of your family, your sanity, your sleep, your wellness. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay, go ahead. Do you want to talk about the structure of the company? I can take it.
Yeah, we don't want to, I don't know how deep we want to really get into the structure of the company, but and Summer can speak really eloquently on how you make money, if that's what the question is asking. But
that's probably what they're talking about.
Okay.
I think
so
when it comes,
multiple ways, but
basic, because it can get really in detail. But the basic structure of the company is, so you have different ways to make money, right? So there's different avenues to make money. One is commission, and we do have some people that decide to run this business strictly based on commission. And so right off the bat, you guys, if you were to sign up tonight and say your best friend was like, can I do what you've been doing? And they buy a challenge pack, or they start with Shakeology, right away, you earn 25% commission. Now, I know a lot of other companies out there that you have to meet a quota first before you start making commission. That doesn't exist. You make immediate commission. There's no monthly minimums. There's no monthly fees if you don't hit a minimum. I've heard that one, like if you don't hit your minimum, you're kind of penalized or something. There is none of that.
There's no outrageous buy-in costs.
Yeah, we wouldn't be sitting here. Remember, we were $100,000 in debt. So if there was a big $4,000 buy-in or anything like that, we wouldn't be here. So the companies that have these big buy-ins, you guys, and I've learned this over time because I'm the type of person that I don't like all the details. So over the last 5 years, I've started to learn the details so that I could help the people that like detail. But what I've learned is these other companies that do have a big buy-in, that is their main source of income, is off these. They make a commission off of signing up new distributors or new teammates, new coaches, right? And they make that's where it ends, right there.
Yes,
and so that's where the relationship ends. And they move. And the real goal is how many distributors can you sign up? How many coaches can you sign up? And the ones that stick, and the ones that don't, you don't ever talk to them again. That sounds horrible. That sounds horrible.
The magic in ours is when you build. Is when you help your team build theirs.
Right. So that's another income. So that's the thing is when someone signs up on our team, you guys, we don't make a big income. There's no big commission check that we get. We only, no, we don't. Nope. Not, no, not at all. So there's no huge benefit for us to sign someone up and then high five you and and just move on to the next person. Our goal is to help you build what you want to build. And so there's that relationship investment in it. And so that brings about another income stream. Okay. So as you help, and this is what I loved about Beachbody is no one could just sign up and sit there while everybody else did all the work, right? Like as you help more people reach their goals, you'll naturally reach yours. And so as we dig in with our coaches and as our team grows, that's when we start to make a cut, so to speak. And if you should decide to join our team, I have a video that explains how that works. But as you help other people succeed, you are compensated for that through Beachbody's compensation plan. Then there are bonuses that are involved as you grow and as your team gets bigger and stuff, as your team succeeds, which is cool to me. Chad, that's really throwing me off that you're having these discussions scrolling. Screwing up with my groove. You know what I mean? Anyway, so those are the two main ways. From my perspective, the way that I saw it was there's only so much summer to go around. So I like the commission part of it. I do because I have a heart for helping other people get comfortable in their skin again and get excited about date night. I'll never stop doing that. But there's only so much summer to go around. I cannot coach more than 8 to 10 people a month. But more than 8 to 10 people a month need help, right? And so the way I saw it was as I started to build these teams and help them to reach people that I never even knew existed, as I teach them to build their business, it's a mutual beneficial relationship again. So as I help them, their business is growing, they're financially benefiting, and my other income stream starts to grow. So think about that as the team starts to build, right? How much that ripple effect is growing away from me and how these lives that I didn't even know existed. I mean, we have people that are, that I never even knew existed that are stationed over in Germany or over in Japan that are on our team talking about how their life has been changed. I didn't know these people and I never would have if I wouldn't have had the courage to start building that other
every
portion.
Time Summer she was a personal trainer another lifetime ago.
That was to fix myself.
Yeah, and that's every time we moved, she would have to. Nobody knew who Summer Tucker was. She'd have to rebuild and restart over, and she'd have to get new clients and everything. It would just stop. I mean, there was no way to touch those people that she knew in the past. So
there was no freedom in it because you guys, when do people, for me, I didn't want to be working at 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to be working at 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. That is when I wanted to be with my family. And so this business came in in a time that I was ready to redesign my life and I was looking for purpose. So, that's more, I can share more of that later. I don't want to bore you guys, but did you want to share anything about, your take on all of this or?
Yeah, just, like I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned that, I've been around it a long time, around the business, and believe me, I'm a believer. I believe in the business. I've believed in a business a very long time. I think I believed in a business. I know I believed in a business long before I believed I could do the business. And it's something that I had to walk with myself and something I had to grow through and something I'm still doing. But I tell you, this thing as we've gone from a secure financial check, and I say it was secure in that I knew it was coming each week. Every couple of weeks. I wouldn't say it was secure in that it really did. It really set us up for success in the future. And as we started to think about how we're going to transition out of this, so, it was like, hey, I kind of want to kind of have a meaningful career. I want to have a purpose out there. I want to be able to do things for people. What am I going to do? And I still I was like, Summer does that. And I'm not sure I can do that. so we started looking at, okay, well, I can become an airline pilot. Well, what does that have in common with what I'm doing now?
You can imagine what I said about that.
Summer's like, yeah, do it, definitely.
No, I wasn't.
Well, I could do that, or I could go fly, for a business jet or net jets or something, or I could go reserve. I can't do that anymore, but. Or I could do, I'd start my own, just do what I know. I could start my own, flight school. But all that stuff, all it had in common was taking me away. And what this thing does, and what I've realized over the last, I'd say, year, is that it gives you time. That's what it does. This business gives you time. It gives you a purpose, it gives you time, and it gives you something meaningful that you can look back on and say, man, I really helped that person. I really did. Heck, that person, I think I just saved that person. I know I saved that person's life. He's alive right now because I had the courage to say, hey, buddy, come on. You step outside your comfort zone and you say, hey, bro, let's just try this. Let's just do this. Has that been working? No? Well, then why don't you just do this? Give me a second, and we'll walk together and we'll do this. And I think that's what it's done. I came back from my last deployment and, you call it what it was. Doctors called it something.
He doesn't like to label it.
I was angry, and it wasn't like I saw a lot of bad things or anything like that. But I was just frustrated about the last year and a half or so in the squadron, and I missed Ollie's birth, and I had a lot of so I was guilty. I was pissed. I was mad at myself, etc. Being in these groups and being in this business, it has brought me back. So. We don't have to sell you on anything. It's just the cold hard truth. It's just being around like-minded people, all striving for the same goal, all just putting it out there and wanting to help.
Yeah.
I can't speak enough of it. So you could not pay me tomorrow and I'd be fine. So Summer said, who will not get paid? Well, I'd do that. I'd do a challenge group and not get paid. Because it's something cool.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say before we wrap this up is that is something that Chad and I have watched happen personally in our life in the last year or so. Is that this business turned Chad's life around? So we on our team we always say it's bigger than that. It's bigger than a paycheck because it gave me my husband back. And that's a big deal, and that's something that this team did for us. And that is something that you can potentially do for someone just by reaching out and to be a part of that. I mean, the guys that Chad shares, he's tearing up, but, he talks about Sean Perro and he talks about Carrie Legault's husband, and he talks about, Greg Sharp and some of these other husbands that are part of our team and how much they have saved his life, and that would have been a real struggle for Chad and I without those guys. Sure, and so, it's bigger than that. And so there's so many different needs that this business can fill. And it's honestly, it's priceless. It's a priceless thing to be a part of. So I don't know if it's a good fit for you. I don't know what you're thinking right now, but if there is even an inkling, something in your heart that's saying I don't know, this could be cool. I'm gonna go out on a limb and beg you to take that leap of faith with us, because it is going to change your life in more ways than one. And I can downright look you in the eye and make that promise to you guys. So anyway, I mean that's where we're gonna leave it, you guys. If you have any other questions, Chad and I'll be more than happy to sit here and answer them. I know that some people had asked about costs and all that kind of stuff, and like we said, there's not a huge buy-in or anything like that. If you bought a challenge pack, you guys, your sign up is free, and so, if you're still working on your journey and you bought a challenge pack and you kind of got something tugging at your heart, why not? You know what I mean? At least you're going to get 25% off your Shakeology, and it's not going to cost you anything. It's going to be cheaper, and then you get introduced to the team, and you get these people in your life that are breathing oxygen into you, which we all need. And if you're military, it's free. It's completely free. I love how Beachbody did that, because they recognize that a couple things they recognize is that military, really, they don't get paid enough for what they do, and it's time consuming. So giving them another option, something else to help these families, it's awesome. And The other thing is, he knows that these men and women come back struggling. So why not surround them by people that are breathing oxygen in them? I've heard so many stories about that, you guys. It is incredible. So if you're military, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Not to mention the tax write-offs that Chad will teach you as you get into the business.
Anybody want to nerd out? Anybody got a couple hours? Maybe a pocket protector, CPA account? No?
Anyway, but we will teach you all that kind of stuff so that you're not out of pocket at the end of the year, which is what people worry about. You will actually save money by learning how to do that, and we'll teach you that and help guide you in that. So if something's tugging at your heart, you guys, step out on a limb and join us. And if not, if it doesn't feel like the right fit for you, that's okay. You might know someone that's struggling in their life and you're like, you know what? I know this really cool team, this really cool idea that you could go do, and you can direct them back to us, because we want people that we can help, people that, want to build something cool. And so you guys, I hope some of you, I get to know you better, and I hope that we can all really just continue to support each other on the vision that we have for our life. So you guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to head on in there with the kids. We love you guys, and we can't wait to get to know those that are like, let's do this.
Let's do this.
All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. See you.